Good morning, everybody. I am coming out here to work in the garden today because it's February and it is about that time for us to start doing work in the garden. And one of the main things that I want to try and stay on top of this year is a planting schedule, but also being ahead of transplanting. So we've always struggled with a couple different things that I'm going to talk to you about throughout this video, but one of the things that we have struggled with is basically staying on top of getting things in the ground before we have to transplant. So we're going to try that this year. I'm going to try to be on it. We've got a couple of beds that we need to prep today, so I'm excited to get started. And I'm really hoping for a good season this year. We'll find out if I can stick with it. That's the main goal, sticking with it. So this is the planting area that we're working on today. These 4 rows here, we've decided that we're going to make them shorter and they are going to hold things that don't need to be trellised anymore. So we have not cleaned this area yet, but basically I'm going to transfer all of these tall poles from this section over to here, and I have some other ones that I'm working on, and they're going to trellis our peas. So last year when we planted peas, we did not do any kind of trellising until after the peas were started in the ground, which is okay to do, but the problem was I didn't create enough time to do the trellising. I didn't do any kind of research on what the trellising was going to be. And so basically, I'm going to set all my trellises up. I'm going to set all of the string up first, and then we're going to direct seed into the row, and hopefully that'll go a whole lot smoother. I was adding string upon string upon string upon string, and basically what was happening was I was trying to beat the plants. And this year, the plants are already going to be beat. I think it's going to be a much better system. So one of the things I like to do with the beds that is probably overkill, but I like to string out all of the beds when I redo them. I'm a perfectionist at heart. So having straight beds and having them look nice and clean and neat, it's super important to me. So like I have strung all these out so that way I can go ahead and pull out all of the things that I need to do and put them in our compost pile. And then I can basically put in the posts at the correct distance that I need and not worry about hitting some of these plants. But also, I'm not creating this crazy wavy line. It's a lot. I'm a perfectionist. It's something I'm working on, but when it comes to doing these beds, it is definitely something that I just feel like makes me feel better. It makes me feel better. So we're gonna get these plants out of here, and then I'm gonna start putting these posts in here, and hopefully they'll be straight. If they're not straight, it's gonna kill me, but I don't think I'm gonna take them up. So if you struggle with being a perfectionist in the garden, I'm here to tell you it's okay. Just do it. If it makes you feel better in the end of the season to be that perfect about it, then so be it. Just do it. Just do it. It's important. It's very, very important. So, let's get started. We're gonna put this in. I'm gonna get all these out, and then I'm gonna show you what the beds look like before I put these posts in. I'm so excited for this year. Alright, we've got this set up really, really nice now. I know this might not seem like much, but this is a big deal. I'm really excited. Oh man, I'm so excited about having these posts up here because it just means that we're one step closer to having plants in the ground. And it's a lot of work, but we got it. They're in. Now we need to put the string on and get the trellis that they're going to actually be able to grow up against and grow up on. But something that we're working hard towards this year is, even though I am stay at home, I could do this, I could work from sun up to sundown, creating time for family, creating time to shut off is super important. Over the past couple years, I have just been gung-ho. When garden season starts, I'm out as soon as I can. I'm staying out as long as I can, and there were some nights I'd come in at 9 o'clock at night, and there's nothing wrong with working like that, but this being the 4th year, I want to try to do a little bit each and every day to get ahead, because it's important to spend time now that I have a daughter with being inside, spending time with my family. So we're gonna call it a day and get back out here and start trellising up these T-posts, so that way we have something for the seeds to grow on. Is it now nighttime?
Yeah.
Is it time to go night-night?
Do you need to say goodnight to your chickies first?
What do you think? What do you think of the chicks? Huh? What do you think? You see them in there? They look good. What do you think, baby?
You want to pet it? You gotta be gentle. You give it kisses? Give it kisses? Gentle? Very nice. Good job.
There's just something about the garden when you get all of your seeds together, you start getting things in and out, and you start planting and planning and doing all kinds of things, and I'm just really excited. When the garden starts, it means that spring's coming. It means it's time to get your fingers dirty again, and honestly, this year is going to be a little bit different than all of the years we've done before because we're only doing, as far as vegetables go, things that we know sell at the market and we know we eat. So like we've done okra in the past, and we've done some other different vegetables that they supposedly sell well in our area. We don't eat them, and then we just can't keep up with them, and basically we have to let them go to seed, or they get too big and then they're not really sellable, and so they just take up space in the garden. So this year we're not going to be planting those different varieties. And then the other thing that we're going to be doing, if I can find them in here, we are going to be doing cut flowers. So we've got some sunflowers, some cosmos, and then I don't know how to say this, celosia? I don't know. But and then some straw flower. And then what else do we have in here? Some marigolds. So we're trying a bunch of different things, and we're actually dedicating 8 to 10 beds strictly for flowers. I wanted to give Jordyn something or a space that she could feel more comfortable in the garden. I've found that when it comes to us, sometimes what we're passionate about is not necessarily always the place that works best for us to work together. And so giving her the ability to grow some flowers in a space with the help of me, but also giving her that space that she can just kind of have fun with. I'm excited to see her get in the garden and see her get used to doing something other than weeding. We have the joke around here that her job is weeding because she's so good at it, but I've wanted her to be a bigger part of it for a long time. So, that being said, we're doing flowers this year. We are already starting the tomatoes and the peppers, and we already have some things out in the greenhouse. They've already started sprouting, so we should be in the next couple of weeks to the next month or so be starting to transplant stuff out. So it's going to be really exciting, and you're just going to have to stick around to see how everything turns out. We have a ton of different flowers. We have a ton of different things. Here's, like, for example, here's all of the peas for what we just did. I think this is 1 pound, so there's 2,200 seeds in here. So we've got big plans for the things that we do eat, and we do have big plans for the things we're going to take to market, but it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a good season, and I'm just really excited. I think it's going to turn out to be really, really, really good. We're doing some things with the irrigation this year that should help out. We're going to try to not do overhead as much, and we're going to switch to drip irrigation. Got to go get that. Got to get a couple other things for the garden, and then we're going to invest in hopefully one big tool for the season to help us really prep beds. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I really hope you got inspired to get out and go work in your garden, because that's something I just really want to do this year, is inspire people to get out and go get working, whether it's the garden or getting on your homestead or just taking the first step to doing whatever you want to do this year, whether it's homesteading related or not. So thank you guys for joining us today. We'll see you next time.